Let's do this. All right. Muscle Asylum here again. We're joined by the one and only Nick Jones, everyone's favourite.
Hi, everybody.
Look, we just came out of the pro show just then. We just obviously watched a pre-judging. Good mate of yours, Justin Wessels, was on stage. Tell us what you thought about the whole pro show. Hold the microphone up to your mouth too.
Yeah, okay. Make sure it's loud enough. I thought it was a really entertaining show. I thought it was really entertaining. It's a great lineup, awesome lineup. Very hard to judge. So hard to judge because you got Cedric and Bonac. The difference in height, and Cedric's got those nice wide shoulders. So it's really hard to judge those two guys. Josh. I would have had Josh at the start. I'm thinking maybe he's second, but I don't know if he flattened out. I don't know if it was me.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing. Yeah, starting to fade away a bit.
Yeah, but what he's done in the last 2 weeks since Ohio is remarkable. And the problem with doing that, though, is you often can't fill back up when you've got to go that hard for a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
We're talking the same language.
Yeah, we really are.
This is not our first rodeo. Bit of few of these, bit of few. So.
Well, okay, Nick. Now, we first met, I think we were about 18, back in the day on the golf course.
So
we're talking a long time ago.
So
we've been around for a while.
50 years ago now.
It's getting up there. We're both actually getting very close to 50. Your last show was actually in 2009.
Yes.
And I was privileged enough to be in the show with you. So you've had a 10-year break.
Yep.
This is your comeback show. Everyone's talking about it. You won the New South Wales show that Mark does promote very nicely, I might add.
Yes, it was great. It was
now
a
you're
great
to
show.
the Arnolds.
I know, this was the goal. The goal was to do the Arnolds, and it was my athletes that pretty much took me into it. Joel Ramintis and Justin Figueroa said, you got to do this classic, this is you. And, it's always in you. I've had 10 years away. I've still trained. I've been doing a lot of martial arts as well, though, a lot of Arakan. But I've always trained and love training. I love bodybuilding. I think it's always been a hobby, so I've never had any these grand expectations about becoming a pro and making a living from it. It's a hobby, and I love it. And ultimately, that's the main reason I still train, because I love it so much. But the reason I chose the Arnold is a couple of reasons I chose this show. One is it's an international show. It's a big show, and I don't have to cross oceans to do an international show. And it's funny. It's just my mindset without thinking about it previously. I picture myself as an international competitor. So when I was looking at the classic physique guys to see the standard and what it was all about, I was looking at the guys at the Olympia. That's what I was looking at, seeing the standard of them, and Chris Bumstead, Breon Ansley. I was looking at those guys. I didn't even know what the standard was like locally, but I came into it, and the last minute I thought, shit, I hope I'm competitive here. I hope I'm competitive. I'm 47 years old. It's been 10 years away, and I had a 19-week preparation. And when I say always trained, my weight training was 4 days a week for about 30 or 40 minutes with the focus on Arakan. So when I looked at myself 19 weeks ago, objectively, and picturing myself on stage, I went, you got a lot of work to do. You're way off standing on stage in a pair of posing, like way off. As a 47-year-old father of three and company owner, I looked pretty good. I was in good shape. But as a competitive bodybuilder, I looked terrible 19 weeks ago. Yeah. Terrible.
Your terribles are pretty good, but
but
you do have high standards of yourself.
Of course.
Stage conditioning.
Of course.
What did you think of Justin? Justin is obviously his second pro show now. He competed in New Zealand last week where he placed second. He kind of, in my eyes, achieved what he wanted to achieve in being the most conditioned athlete on stage.
Yes.
He beat Rolly in the most muscular, from my opinion, when it comes to conditioning lines. He looked crazy out there. What's your...
I've been lucky enough to follow his progress the whole time, and because he's done so many shows over the last 3 years, back to back, this contest prep for him was so tough. He lost his dad. His dad passed away, but his body didn't want to get lean. It did not want to get in shape. The stress. His body didn't want to get in shape. And to see his conditioning, I looked at him at the hotel earlier today, to see his conditioning, I'm so proud of him and blown away that he achieved that conditioning. And I can tell you in one word why he achieved, or how he achieves that conditioning. Because a lot of people want to know. He suffers more than everyone else. He's been having oatmeal for meal one with his egg whites, and that's the only carbs he's been having for about the last 4 to 6 weeks to get that conditioning. He has no caffeine, so he's looking after his adrenals with herbal adrenal products, and he's really looking after every aspect of his health to give his body as much support as he could. So I get inspired by him. I get so inspired by Justin. He's such a true professional. and he looks at it like I do as a hobby.
Yeah.
He's got no grand plans of being a full-time bodybuilder and a big sponsorship, and thank goodness, because I can't afford to pay him. but yeah, mate, I'm so proud of him, Gretchy. I'm so proud of what he achieved to put that package on stage, and it was great to see. It was great to see that conditioning next to the other boys.
Well,
you know?
we were both sitting and thinking he's the most conditioned guy on stage.
Yeah,
Head to toe. He looked fantastic, and then you turn around to the back, and it was just absolutely good night from the conditioning point.
We won't
and that's
give you much
impressive.
longer, though,
No, I was just going to grab that
again,
again, but I don't really want to hold the water bottle
No,
as
you
a
have to.
microphone.
It's a microphone. Well, how are they going to hear you?
Well, you're like this.
Not a
No one can
water
hear us
bottle,
like
it's a
that either.
microphone.
It's a big microphone. Look at the size of it.
Hey, let's just say everything goes well, and I hate predicting things like this, but let's just say everything goes well tomorrow.
Yes.
You get your pro card, you win the overall. Are you going to continue competing? Would you use that pro card?
Would you do it, Justin, and do what he did today?
Yeah, it's a good question. Had you asked me this 6 weeks ago, I would have said I don't even know if there's a pro card on offer.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even know that there was one till about 6 weeks ago. And that was never the motivation, to become a pro. And I've got my company, I'm busy with that. I've got my family, so I've got all these priorities over and above competitive bodybuilding. But at 47 years of age, I reckon I don't want to be flexing my muscles on stage when I turn 50.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So if I was to get a pro card, I would use it. I would have to use it. I would have to. I would have to use it, and I would say, give me 2 more years in it, and I retire.
Yeah. That's good news for all of us. I mean, we're all
really.
big fans. We talk about you a lot on our show.
He's laughing
We did have you on our
We got
show
a
as
lot
well.
of now, man.
That's just IFBB Pro Regan Grimes. Now, what did we use with Regan? Some BCAs or something? And he said, that was pretty funny. But that's good news. That's good to know. Like I'm actually considering. Like, it'd be great to see where you go with it.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
We might see you at Olympia stage as well. That'd be freaking fantastic.
You never know. I've got to get more information about that, because I believe now it's a point system, because there's over 25 shows. Is that
It
correct?
depends. There are shows where, you're talking about making it to the actual Olympia stage.
Yeah, qualify
Yeah,
for
it
the
depends.
Olympia.
There are some shows that qualify you directly if you win.
Really, there is some.
Yeah,
You can win a one-off big show and qualify.
Well, look at Aaron last week. Aaron Pilates won his pro show last week. And now he's going to Olympia.
Let me do more research. I'll
Please,
sit down.
please do.
I'll
I
get
need
back
some
to you.
help. I
Okay,
need some help.
These are the shows you need to do.
Strategically.
This is where we're at.
New Zealand could have potentially been one that you could have won.
And I can live over there in Dallas. You're more than happy to stay with me whenever you
Thanks,
want.
buddy.
It's a good
Thanks,
training
mate.
areas around there.
Yeah.
He lives in an old retirement home, though. Just so you know.
I'll settle right in. I'll settle right in. Don't worry.
Wheelchair down to the gym.
I'll settle in.
Things are good.
Let's let him go back to his missus. He's sitting there patiently while watching the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Good luck
boys.
for
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Gretchy.
We're
Thanks,
pumped to see
mate.
you.
Thanks, Mick. Yeah, thanks,
You can have
guys.
your water bottle back.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, everyone.